Remember the old days when you could tune in to WWF at the time? Or when did it turn WWE? I don't even know. Whatever the fuck. Remember 2000s. The old days when you could tune in and, you'd see a bunch of brazen machismo and beers being guzzled and people being ridiculed. Tiny hats. Don't forget the tiny hats. But more than that, every now and then, more like every time, you would see tons of tits.
Yeah. A lot of them were bad, though.
Yeah, a lot of plastic.
The skin peaks. Stretched to its limits. Tits.
Sable's tits, man.
Sable's tits are terrible.
What the fuck were those? How was she ever fucking popular?
I don't know.
I don't get it. But anyway, the point is, there was a time in WWE when it was tits galore.
Yeah.
And it was just gratuitous.
Yeah.
And the man side of me kind of misses it a bit. But really, in reality,
not really.
I am very appreciative that we are in the era, not even the women's revolution now, we're in the women's evolution now, apparently, or so they would have us know every fucking second of the day.
Yeah.
I'm glad of that, though. But that doesn't mean I'm not a guy. And that doesn't mean you're not a guy, right? I'm hoping. AJ Styles love is disturbing.
Yeah,
but
really
anyway, we are guys, and that means that despite how much we appreciate the female roster's talent, we also still kind of
appreciate their teats.
We go the teats every now and then. I mean, we're not gonna lie here.
No,
we viddy them teats. So that's what we're doing today. We're ranking the best boobs in the WWE because we gotta harken back to the time when Vince McMahon was really crazy.
Yeah.
So let's hear it. But first, hit that music.
Just sit back, relax. It's gonna get good.
This reminds me. Oh my God.
The genesis of McGillicuddy.
I'm here to stay, make a good lucha thing.
Suffering succotash, son.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan! We coming for you, nigga!
We have a theme now.
That's a fucking thing.
Yep.
This one wasn't professionally produced like the other ones. So.
I literally just found it on YouTube and pieced together a little theme entrance.
And that's just how we do quality here. That is to say, we don't do quality at all. But let's start this off, man. We're going to keep to the main roster, the current main roster, because, there's so many fucking teats that have come across the screens over the years. But we are going to give an honorable mention slot to whoever you favor as your best NXT boobs. NXT next level tit. No, there's nothing with X.
You just left that NXT.
Yeah, I should have.
Yeah.
So who do you give an honorable NXT mention to?
I'm gonna have to go with Nikki Cross because she got good pillowy mounds.
They are big,
which I enjoy.
I do enjoy them. You know what I don't enjoy? That they're always smushed.
It's all right
Behind her, like a weird
Although
pseudo
when
corset.
she takes off her little corset, it's just like
they're just
her
like
tits are like
flopping over, and not in a weird, not in a bad way. We're getting too much into her tits.
Her tits good is what I'm saying.
Her tits are good. Speaking of good tits, my pick is Lacey Evans. I'm okay with a variety of tit sizes.
Yeah.
It's about the presentation for me. I don't know. I think for you too.
Yeah.
The package sells the tit.
Yeah.
You can't just have a free floating tit and expect it to be awesome.
I don't know though.
This is random milk dog tits floating around your head would not be cool.
Floating tits would be pretty great.
However, her floating tits would be pretty great for me because they are pretty awesome. And maybe it has to do with the presentation, the whole pin-up aesthetic. She makes sure they're presentable, but not in a slutty way. I like it, so that's my honorable NX tit.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next thing, or the NX tit thing. Okay, I got to drop that.
Damn it.
Let's get on to the main roster. We're going to go alphabetical on this because there's so many chicks. We're gonna mix both rosters together. So let's get on to it, man.
Yeah.
And we're gonna rate them on a scale of 1 through 10. At the end of this, we'll decide who the top 3 tits are after we accumulate our scores together.
Yeah.
So let's start off with one of your favorites, and I think a lot of people's favorite, Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa tit.
Now I will say that her cup size is not particularly large, but she is very petite.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It's like a midget, basically.
If she had China level tits,
that'd be weird.
We'd have some problems.
And she got an enhancement recently, and they still look.
Yeah, they still look natural.
Great.
That's the thing with WWE in the past. Like I'll point out Jacqueline. She got some fucking insane transplants that looked ridiculous. You know, she wasn't a bad looking woman. And all of a
Still
sudden,
probably motorboat him, but they weren't good.
I mean, let's be honest here. Would motorboat fucking Yoko's tits?
That's a great point.
But the point is, we gotta rate these tits. Alexa, scale of 1 through 10.
I'm a big fan of, like you said, the package is what makes it.
Yeah.
So the package, along with not the dick package. That's another list we're gonna make, top 10 dicks. But
Kona Reeves is not gonna win that
definitely not. But the whole package, I give it a high 8 for me. It tickles my pickle.
Yeah, she definitely. I think her forte is more her ass, which is astonishing.
True.
Astonishing, as they would say. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with you. I'm gonna give her an 8.
All right.
2. You know. Let's move on to the next one. And
oh man,
I picked this particular picture because
what is that big?
Because what the fuck? And really, what the fuck defines this chick?
Yeah.
We're talking about Alicia Fox. First of all, I gotta call into question this fucking pose.
It's not great.
Is it a dance? Is it just her, lunacy showing? I don't know what the fuck it is, but it sucks. But this goes hand in hand with what I'm saying about the package as part of the presentation. And I gotta say, if this is the presentation, I give it 3 thumbs down. The third thumb being my penis.
Yeah. What's your rating?
I'll give her I can't give her above a 3.
Yeah.
This doesn't fairly represent her tit.
That's a great point.
But again, the package makes the tit. And
look,
this package is not good.
I would have given her a solid 4
Uh-huh.
if it wasn't for this pose.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
This pose is pissing me off.
It doesn't even make sense.
No, what is it? And it takes effort. She had to have done that, and they had to have snapped it just at the right moment.
The right moment. She kept that face, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your rating?
Because of the package, I'm going to go with a freaking 2, dude.
3 and a 2. Really, I was being too kind with 3.
Yeah, really were. This pose.
Yeah, 3 and a 2. All right, let's go to the next one. She's not going to be the winner.
Oh, yeah.
This is your favorite girl in general.
Yeah.
Asuka.
I'm a fan of her tit, too.
She's got, like a fair C cup?
Probably.
But they're always hidden behind, her pretty bulky bra.
I do have a more revealing pic of her tit.
The old days.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about this tit. I mean, it fits her.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's, like, her prominent...
True.
In terms of her body, I don't think that's what sticks out the most.
True.
Literally and figuratively.
True.
Because they are rather small. I'm going to give it, again, keeping into account the whole presentation, I'm going to give them 6. That's not to say they're awful. I'm just saying I'd rather focus on other parts of Asuka.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I have studied these teats.
Oh, yeah. I've seen you study these teats.
Ooh. Anyway.
It's not good. He masturbated, so we're getting...
Many a time. So, and then she is my girl, so I think it's my bias.
Yeah.
But I gotta give her a 8.5.
8.5?
But yes, I agree that her tits aren't the best part of her.
They're not. The smile really is, I think, in my opinion.
Her face.
Anyway, let's go on to the next one.
Her
it's
freaking
pretty
yellow
clear
tooth.
that she's not going to win either, so that's sad. But anyway, the next one is Old Bayley. Now, it was hard for me to scrounge
it really
up a
was.
pic. First of all, let me just say this. This is not even tit related. It's hard to find a good picture of Bayley.
Yeah, that's a good point. I found this one.
As pretty as she is, she's not very photogenic. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find, right?
Yeah, it really was. It took me forever.
I scoured the globe like Lucas looking for a proper Anakin, and I didn't find one, just like he didn't find one.
That's a good point.
Fuck. But eventually, since some nook and cranny in Japan, I found this picture.
Of course.
Which is about as fair a tit shot as we're going to get.
Yeah.
Now, we can agree that just like Asuka, the tits aren't her best feature.
Oh, no,
the ass is the best
humongous
feature.
ass.
Yeah. But, I don't know, man. I think they're nicely proportioned. I think I would slap them suckers. Sackers? Well, I guess they're sackers, too.
Yeah,
a couple of meat sacks.
God damn.
Would motorboat them bad boys. Maybe give them a punch or two, just for kicks.
Punch?
The presentation is nice. I think they're the right size for her. I'll give them a fair 6 also. I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Yeah. It does seem... I think it's just the gear she has, but it does seem like her tats are really tiny.
Yeah.
But if you go back to the NXT days, you can see she's got some good ass tit. That being said, that ass, you can't look past the ass. So yeah, I gotta go with a 6.
The ass take over the tit.
It's a above average tit.
It's like this singular tit thing. Anyway, speaking of singular tits, we actually have 2 2 pairs of them right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're not speaking about singular tits. And let's do a 2 birds, 1 stone here. First, we got Becky Lynch. Again, another person whose tits you barely ever see.
I want to show you this picture of Becky Lynch I found.
Do show.
For some reason exists.
Oh my God! Look, I'm not gonna say I encountered this self-same photo like 10,000 times. No matter how much I narrowed down my search, this fucking thing would come up.
That's the only reason I downloaded it, because it kept coming up.
Somebody out there has a weird fetish for Becky Lynch being huge.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. I just don't get. But anyway, what isn't huge is her tits.
Yeah.
But they are very nice. On the rare occasion when they make an appearance, I'm going to give them, again, keeping into account the package, which is a very athletic build, and the killer face.
That's true.
I'm going to give them a solid fucking, I'm going to give them a 9, bro. I can't give them less than that.
We saw her in this past, wasn't this past, but 2 SmackDowns ago.
Mm-hmm.
She was wearing that shirt that kind of like accentuated her tit.
A little bustier.
It was good, but at the same time, I have a feeling she's got kind of droopy tits.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why. That being said, I can't judge on what feelings.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with a solid. She's a 7 tit. 7 tit.
7 tit score. Fair enough. Fair
Not
enough.
my fave tits, but she does got good tits. Her butt is really great, though.
Oh, her butt's great. Booty Lynch is butt queen. But Charlotte over here, though, same picture.
Yeah.
She's had several scrapes with the tit. Namely because she had an original set of tits. And like a lot of women that go up to the main roster, they end up getting implants because they fear that Vince McMahon will fucking fire them the moment they don't have D-sized tits. So Charlotte got a pair of new tits. Her previous one's burst. She's on the 3rd tit. Really. She had the original version. Then she had 2.0, which burst.
Yeah.
Now she's on 3.0, which I gotta say
3.0
is probably the best one.
3.0 is looking great.
We're looking, I think, right here. This is a fairly recent picture. I think this is still 2.0.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Feel free to judge based on 3.0. I will say that 2.0, if you saw the leaks...
we have to address 2.0.
If you saw the leaks, you noticed the problem with Charlotte's tits.
They're not good.
They were not even.
No.
Now, I realize that most tits are not even.
But this was like...
Case in point, mine.
Impressively uneven.
Yeah, there was
one's up here, one's down here.
Yeah, here's the real offense. It's that these were constructed tits. Yeah. They could have placed them right. They could have inserted them in the right spot to make them even, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And you had these uneven, mounds.
I'm hoping that was like post one of them popping.
It wasn't.
This was all
fucked up part. Anyway, what do you give Charlotte?
I'm gonna give her some credit and go with 3.0. 3.0 is pretty great. I'm gonna give them 8.
An 8 for 3.0.
Them babies be good.
Okay.
If I was her, I would leak new nudes just to be like, hey, check out
my
tits.
level tits.
And they're like super professionally shot, the leaks.
Yeah, and they actually have like a carpenter's level on top of them, just so you know. I want to give her a good a score as you did, but I can't get over, again, the package is everything. I can't get over the fact that every now and then...
She looks like Ric Flair.
Yeah, and in the right light, she just makes the perfect Ric Flair face, and you're like, man, I can't forget that Ric Flair's own tits
were bad.
Are like those fucking chocolate volcano cakes. Shit. So I'm going to give her, even the 3.0 version of her tits, I'm going to give them you know what? I'm going to go down to a 6. I was going to say a 7, but I'm going to go down to a 6. I just can't get over the... So next, we got one of the Bella twins. This is kind of out of order. I went by their last name because there's 2 of them. So one of the Bella twins, we have Nikki, who is renowned for her spectacular, in my opinion, her spectacular implants. So this is version 2.0 for her. She was fairly small-breasted like Brie was back in the day. But this is what a lot of people recognize nowadays. What would you give this one?
I'm not a fan of Nikki, if I'm going to be honest with you. That being said, I would totally sniff her ass. So, I'll, despite me not being a fan of her, her tits are pretty great. But, like you said, package is a thing. So I'm going to have to go with a solid 7.
7?
They're good. I just don't love her.
I do like Nikki, and I definitely like her tits.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she's in the car with me. We crash, and they serve as my pillowy cushions.
She dies, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes, and her face My face isn't blazing on her chest.
Yeah.
So it's a closed casket funeral. It's gotten very tragic.
Yeah,
but,
it really has.
I'm going to give them a solid 8.5. I am a fan of her tit.
One
Her
tit.
singular tit.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Brie over here, who is, of course, very small chest size. What do you give old Brie?
Now I'm a fan of Brie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. She seems like she's nice,
Mm-hmm.
and thus it bumps up her tit score to a 8.
Yeah, I am a fan. I prefer a smaller cup size. You know this. Despite me just having given Nikki Bella a considerably large score.
10,000.
But I will say that despite me liking the smaller cup size, something about Brie's knobs don't really do it for me.
Knobs?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Her mounds?
Her mounds, they don't really do it for me. I'm not disgusted by them, don't get me wrong.
Not a fan, though.
I'm just not a fan of how it's presented in the package.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give her a 6.
I am a hater.
I forgot what you give. What'd you give her?
8, I think.
8.
Let's just go with 8.
Let's go with 8. Next, we got a Big E Langston.
Damn.
Now I gotta say this picture's
Yeah.
pretty saucy.
Yeah, that's
Look,
great
this-
big.
If we're gonna get real, the best tits in WWE are Big E's.
Yeah,
They're big.
they're really
They're
good.
firm.
They're well defined.
He can make them twerk.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
can,
that's
yeah.
that's something. And this picture proves that he knows that you're looking at them.
Oil them bad babies up, and you got a perfect 10 in my book.
Big E gets a perfect 10. The first perfect 10.
Yeah.
Big E. If you wanted further proof that he is irresistible,
Yeah.
even Paige can't keep her hands off his tits.
She becomes a guy too.
Yeah, that's how amazing his tits are. But let's get serious here. Although I was deadly
Yes.
serious about that. Let's move on to old Billie Kay, part of the Iconics. Now, when she isn't getting makeup blasted onto her fucking face, she can be fairly attractive.
Yeah.
I enjoy her. You know.
I'm a pretty big fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she grew on you. You initially hated.
Even back in the day when y'all were hating on her, I
You
was like,
secretly
I kind of like her. I'm not even gonna lie.
whacking off.
I liked her more than Peyton Royce back in the day.
Again, this was one that was hard to find
Yeah, it
a
was.
picture of her tits. It's like she's super protective of
She really
her
is.
chest area. She probably knows that jackmos like us are going to be
gonna
like,
make a
"Ooh, look at them,"
Yeah.
which we are. So what do you say?
I don't think their tits are the best part of her,
I agree.
so I'm gonna go with a good but not great 6.5.
I'm going to give them a 5.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, again, it has more to do with the presentation again.
Yeah.
And they're not impressive looking. They're
No.
not great looking. They're not ugly, of course. But, just when you take it all in, they don't stand out.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of her doesn't stand out.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say. But weird to say because we just said we totally jizz all over that. But the point is,
She seems like she's cool in real life.
yeah. But the tits aren't.
Yeah.
So that's
I'll
that's
still,
why our score is.
I'll still suckle on
I'm
them.
gonna be wrong. At this point, we'd hump dirt,
Yeah.
and we do
We
actively.
Happy Humphrey. Well, I don't even know who it is still.
He's very happy. That's all I know. He's fat.
Oh.
It wouldn't be a good
Yeah.
worst
Well, he's got
69 of
big
all
tits.
time. Yeah, his tits are on fleek. Anyway, speaking of tits that are on fleek, these are a small set of them, but I do like the package quite a bit. I gotta say, even if her character is super annoying.
Yeah.
And that's Carmella. Couldn't find a lot of good pics
Yeah.
of her tits, but this will do. I think. I think she presents them well. I think they look good on her. I think they're the right size. I hope she doesn't get triple G's by the
Yeah.
end of her fucking career. I'm gonna give them I'm gonna give them a fucking I don't know, like a 7.5. I think they're pretty good. Not golden, but
Yeah, they're good, and I'll agree with you. But I do feel like that's a bit on the high side.
Uh-huh.
So I'll give them a 6.
Oh, hey,
They're good tits, but like you said, they're kind of hard to find.
they're no Ellsworth tits.
No, she did have a nip slip recently. It wasn't great.
Now, that's right. Look, let me tell you about these guys. I realize we're being pervs here, but there's some guys that go out of their way
To find one frame.
to find that one frame
Yeah.
of a nip slip, and usually they're terrible. You know,
Yeah.
the tit is not in the right position. You know, so it looks all weird.
Yeah.
Gives you the impression that the nipple's off center. It's like, well, what's the point of this?
I've
I
seen
don't
some
understand.
good ones, but for the most part, they're pretty stanky.
Yep. For the most, I'd say like 98% of the time they stand.
Yeah.
Every now and then you get a 2% nugget And then you're like, oh, that was worth it. And then you realize, no, because there's higher quality pictures,
Yeah.
like this one right here of Dana Brooke, like that segue.
Yeah.
I don't. It really sucked.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't
anyway,
good.
the
I
point
was trying to
is,
throw you a bone, but then you took it out of
I
your
just
mouth,
went all the way up.
shoved it in your butt.
I'd like to shove things in her butt, but we're not talking about her butt. We're talking about Dana Brooke. We're talking about the Silicone Queen, apparently.
Yeah.
This is a woman that completely and dramatically changed her appearance.
Yeah.
If you look at her from before she went even to the main roster, that's not even to speak of going into the WWE. She looked dramatically different facially, her lips, most notably the tits, though.
Yeah.
They are rather large. But I got to say, for some implants, they look natural on her because, you know, they look naturally good, I should say.
Yeah.
Because she does have a much more corpulent appearance than say, some waif like AJ Lee, which I love, by the way. But the point is, they fit her frame. I think they look nice. But given the fact that she's in this package of, you know, like a plastic surgery queen look, I'm going to have to knock them down a little. I'm going to give her a 6. I wish I could give her more. I honestly do.
I liked her old face more than I do now. I think her face went a little jacked. But we're not talking about her face. We're talking about her teats. And I'm a fan of those teats.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, the whole package does knock it down a bit. So I'll go down from a 7 to a 6.5.
6.5, fair enough. A little bit higher than mine. But we're in general thought territory there. Now, we're going to move on to some of the worst tits of all time. And that's Dusty Rhodes. I just put this in here because, 1, the man has tits.
Yeah, he does.
2, and he's not even the current roster, but then he's dead.
Yeah, he is.
But the point is, I just want to demonstrate my least favorite kind of tit.
Side
now, you
boob?
might be thinking, that's a guy, you friggin' dumbass. Of course his tits are going to be awful. Yes, but I've seen women with this type of tit.
Yeah.
And we're talking where they just go to the side.
Yeah, those are weird.
What is up with those tits, man?
I don't like them.
I don't understand them. I don't want to see them. And I hope I never see them again. Yeah. And I fear that because a lot of these girls use these push-up bra type things, you know, to keep their shit in place.
Yeah, they're probably like...
I fear that in the locker room when they let it hang,
them
it's
babies
like,
are to the side.
some Dusty Rhodes shit going on back there. Hopefully not, though. I will say that this is the worst picture in the history of mankind.